The Tharn Dominion prided itself on its sprawling empire and its brutal efficiency in subjugating weaker species. Among its most prized commodities were the Litari, a gentle, empathic race with glowing bioluminescent patterns on their skin. These markings pulsed with the Litari's emotions, making them perfect for the cruel role of personal slaves, companions whose feelings were on constant display for their masters to exploit. Lysara had spent years in this torment, her light dimmed but not extinguished. A human in the market, the slave auction was bustling, a spectacle of suffering and greed. Lysara stood on the platform, her slender form adorned with the ornate but restrictive garb forced upon her. Her glowing patterns flickered weakly, a sign of her emotional exhaustion. Yet, there was a defiance in her violet eyes that no amount of cruelty had been able to extinguish. Among the buyers stood a man who didn't belong, Ethan Drake, a former Terran Vanguard commander. His presence, cloaked in the guise of a wealthy merchant, was an act of rebellion against the Thorn. His mission was simple: disrupt the trade one life at a time. When his eyes locked with Lysara's, he saw not just a victim, but a spark of something unbroken. "I'll take her," he said firmly, his voice cutting through the noise of the market. The auctioneer hesitated, but the credits Ethan offered were too tempting to refuse. Freedom, alien and new. Ethan's ship, the Stellar Horizon, was a stark contrast to the oppressive Tharn vessel Lysara had come from. It was clean, spacious, and radiated a sense of safety. The moment they boarded, Ethan unlocked the cuffs from her wrists. "You're free now," he said. Lysara recoiled, her glowing patterns flaring with confusion and distrust. "Free? What is this game?" "No game," Ethan replied, his voice soft but earnest. "No one owns you anymore. You can stay here or go anywhere you want. The choice is yours." Her markings dimmed as she processed his words. Freedom was a concept she'd heard of, but never experienced. For years, her life had been dictated by chains, physical and emotional. She wasn't sure how to exist without them, adjusting to a new life. Lysara chose to stay, at least for a while. She watched Ethan from a distance, her distrust slowly giving way to curiosity. He wasn't like the Thorn. He didn't demand anything from her, didn't impose his will. Instead, he taught her. He showed her how to navigate the ship's systems, introduced her to human art and literature, and even shared stories of his time in the Vanguard. For the first time, Lysara felt a flicker of control over her life. One evening, as they sat in the ship's observation lounge, staring at the swirling colors of a nebula, she asked, "Why did you save me?" Ethan paused, his gaze distant. "Because I've seen too much of what the Tharn do. I've lost too many people to them. If I can undo even a fraction of their damage, it's worth it." Her markings glowed softly, a Litari's version of a smile. "Thank you." A growing bond. As weeks turned into months, their relationship deepened. Lysara began to smile more, her bioluminescent patterns regaining their vibrant hues. She also began to understand the human who had freed her. Ethan carried his own scars from the war, losses that haunted him in quiet moments. Their missions to disrupt the Tharn trade were perilous, but they forged a partnership built on mutual trust and respect. Ethan never treated Lysara as fragile, and she admired his unyielding determination to fight for others. One day, after a particularly dangerous mission to liberate a group of enslaved Litari, they sat together under the twin suns of a liberated world. Lysara looked at him, her markings glowing with a mix of gratitude and something deeper. "You've given me so much more than freedom," she said. "You've shown me what it means to live." Ethan took her hand, his own heart racing. "And you've reminded me what it means to hope, from companions to lovers." Their partnership evolved into something neither had expected. What began as an act of rescue became a bond that transcended species. Ethan saw Lysara not as an alien, but as a kindred spirit, someone who had endured unimaginable pain yet refused to be broken. For Lysara, Ethan was her anchor in a universe that had once seemed cold and hostile. One evening, as they stood on a cliff overlooking a vibrant alien city they had helped liberate, Ethan turned to her. "Lysara," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion, "I don't want to just fight alongside you. I want to build something with you. Will you be my partner, in every sense of the word?" Her glowing patterns flared in a cascade of vibrant colors. "Yes," she whispered, tears of joy in her eyes. "Yes, Ethan, a legacy of hope." Ethan and Lysara's union became a beacon of hope in the galaxy. Their story spread, inspiring others to resist the Thorn and believe in the possibility of a better future. Together, they continued their fight, not as savior and saved, but as equals bound by love and a shared dream of freedom for all. In their love, the galaxy saw a glimpse of what it could become, united, compassionate, and free.